You might want to sit down for this, because some of the foods you reheat almost every day, those comforting leftovers, could silently be putting your health at risk, especially if you're over 60. We've all done it. Opened the fridge, popped last night's dinner in the microwave, and called it a meal. But what if I told you that warming certain foods can turn something healthy into something harmful, even toxic? It's not just about taste or texture. This is about what happens deep inside those foods at the chemical level. Seniors especially need to know what's safe and what isn't, because your digestion, your heart, even your immune system can be affected more quickly than you think. Today we're uncovering 7 common foods you should never reheat and what you can safely do instead. The good news. Most of these fixes are easy once you know the truth. Let's start with one of the biggest surprises. Chicken is one of the most common leftovers in American kitchens. It's lean-packed with protein and often cooked in big batches to save time. But here's the truth that might surprise you. Reheating chicken the wrong way can upset your digestion and even pose a health risk, especially for seniors. Let's break it down. When chicken is first cooked, the proteins are structured in a way that your body can easily digest. But if that same chicken is left in the fridge and then reheated at high temperatures, the protein structure changes dramatically. For someone over 60 with a more sensitive digestive system, this can lead to bloating, stomach cramps, or nausea. And it's not just about comfort. Improper reheating can sometimes allow bacteria to survive, especially if the chicken wasn't cooled or stored correctly. So what should you do? First, store cooked chicken within 2 hours of cooking. Don't leave it sitting out. When you're ready to eat it again, skip the microwave blast. Instead, reheat it slowly on the stovetop or in the oven at low heat, giving the proteins a gentler transition. This helps preserve both the texture and your digestion. Or better yet, eat it cold. Sliced chicken on a salad wrapped in lettuce or mixed with chilled pasta can be just as satisfying and a lot safer. The goal isn't to throw out leftovers, it's to treat them in a way that keeps your body healthy. Chicken may be a comfort food, but how you handle it after cooking matters more than you think. Spinach is one of the healthiest vegetables you can eat. It's rich in iron, fiber, and vitamins that support everything from your eyesight to your immune system. But here's something most people don't know: reheating spinach can turn this superfood into a silent threat. Why? It all comes down to something called nitrates. Spinach naturally contains high levels of nitrates, which aren't harmful when the vegetable is fresh or freshly cooked. But once it cools down and is reheated, especially at high temperatures, those nitrates can turn into nitrites and potentially into nitrosamines, compounds that have been linked to long-term health risks, including cancer. Now, for younger people with strong detox systems, this may not have an immediate effect. But for seniors whose bodies process toxins more slowly, this can lead to digestive issues, fatigue, or worse over time. So how do you enjoy spinach safely? Here's a simple rule: only cook what you plan to eat right away. If you do have leftovers, store them in the fridge and enjoy them cold the next day, maybe as a salad base or mixed into a cold pasta dish. Avoid reheating spinach in soups, casseroles, or the microwave. The risk just isn't worth it. Spinach should be a health booster, not a hidden hazard. With a little care, you can still enjoy all its benefits, just without the second round of heat. Eggs are often called nature's multivitamin, and for good reason. They're full of protein, B vitamins, and healthy fats that support brain and muscle function, especially important as we age. But here's the catch. Reheating boiled or fried eggs can make them hard to digest and even risky for your health. When eggs are cooked the first time, their proteins are stable and safe. But when you reheat them, especially at high temperatures like in a microwave or skillet, those same proteins can break down and release sulfur compounds. These can irritate your stomach and in some cases lead to bloating, nausea, or even food poisoning if the eggs weren't stored properly. For seniors who may already have slower digestion or weaker immune function, that's a big deal. So what's the best practice first? If you boil or fry eggs, eat them fresh whenever possible. If you need to store them, keep them cold in the fridge and eat them cold later, sliced over toast, chopped into a salad, or mixed into a tuna spread. Reheating is safer when eggs are blended into a dish like a baked casserole or quiche, where the eggs are evenly distributed and don't overcook in isolation. Remember, eggs are only as healthy as the way you handle them. Skip the reheat. Keep it fresh or keep it cold. Mushrooms are a wonderful addition to any meal. They're low in calories, rich in antioxidants, and provide nutrients like selenium and B vitamins that support the brain and immune system. But there's a little-known fact that could surprise you. Reheating mushrooms can make them more harmful than helpful, especially for seniors. Why? Because mushrooms are made up of delicate proteins that begin to break down soon after cooking. When you reheat them, especially at high heat or in the microwave, the proteins can change structure in a way that makes them harder to digest. This can lead to stomach discomfort, bloating, or even heart palpitations in some individuals. What's worse, if mushrooms are left at room temperature too long before being stored, they can develop harmful bacteria, something your body might not tolerate as easily with age. So what's the safe way to enjoy them? First, only cook what you plan to eat right away. If you do have leftovers, refrigerate them immediately, don't leave them out on the counter. And when it's time to eat again, try them cold in salads, grain bowls, or even blended into a dip. If you really must reheat them, do so at low heat and for the shortest time possible. Mushrooms are good for you, but only when treated with care. When in doubt, enjoy them fresh or don't reheat them at all. Who doesn't love a hearty helping of potatoes, mashed, roasted, or baked? They're a staple in so many homes. But here's something you may not know. Reheating potatoes the wrong way can put your health at risk. The biggest danger comes from how they're stored. If cooked potatoes are left out at room temperature for too long, especially when wrapped in foil or kept in bulk, they can develop a type of bacteria called Clostridium botulinum. This bacteria can survive the first cooking and multiply even after reheating, potentially causing serious illness. For seniors whose immune systems might not bounce back quickly, that's a risk not worth taking. But there's more. Even when stored properly, reheating potatoes can break down their nutrients and raise their glycemic index, which can spike blood sugar, something to watch out for if you're managing diabetes or prediabetes. So how do you enjoy potatoes safely? First, store cooked potatoes in the fridge within 1 to 2 hours. Never let them sit out. If you're reheating them, skip the microwave and use the stovetop at low heat to warm them slowly and evenly. Or simply enjoy them cold in a potato salad or chopped into a chilled veggie bowl. The key is safe handling. Potatoes are comforting, but like many good things, they don't take kindly to shortcuts after cooking. Beets are often called a miracle root for the heart, and rightly so. They're packed with folate, fiber, and antioxidants that support circulation, brain function, and blood pressure. But here's something most people don't realize. Beets, when reheated, can lose their benefits and quietly become harmful. Like spinach and celery, beets are naturally high in nitrates. When freshly cooked, these compounds can actually help improve blood flow. But once you cool and reheat beets, those same nitrates can convert into nitrites and potentially into nitrosamines, which are chemical compounds that can stress your liver and digestive system, especially in older adults. If you've ever felt a bit queasy or bloated after eating reheated beets, this might be the reason. So what's the solution? Cook only what you'll eat fresh. If you've made extra, store the beets in the fridge right away and enjoy them cold the next day, sliced into a salad, mixed into hummus, or drizzled with lemon and olive oil. They're delicious that way, and you skip the risk entirely. Beets can be a vibrant part of a healthy senior diet, but like so many good things, they're best when you handle them with care. The key is to avoid that second round of heat and enjoy their earthy goodness the safe way. Nothing feels quite as comforting as a warm bowl of homemade soup. And for many of us, that means tossing in classic vegetables like celery and carrots. But here's something you probably didn't expect. Reheating soup with celery or carrots can quietly change their chemistry, and not in a good way. Both celery and carrots, like spinach and beets, contain naturally occurring nitrates. These compounds are harmless until they're reheated. That's when nitrates can turn into nitrites, and potentially nitrosamines, which may cause stress on your digestive system and over time increase the risk of inflammation-related problems. While a single reheated bowl might not cause major issues, repeated exposure, especially for seniors, can take a toll on your gut and immune health. So what's the safe, simple solution? If you're making a large pot of soup, try this. Remove the celery and carrots before reheating, especially if the soup has been stored overnight. Or better yet, cook smaller portions so there's no need to reheat again and again. Want more flavor the next day? Add fresh veggies just before serving. This keeps your soup vibrant and your body protected. Soup is meant to heal, not to harm. By being mindful of how we reheat those familiar ingredients, we can enjoy every spoonful with peace of mind. Now you know not all leftovers are created equal. For seniors, the way we handle and reheat food can mean the difference between feeling good and a day of unexpected stomach discomfort or worse. These 7 foods aren't about fear, they're about being informed. You deserve meals that nourish and protect you at every age. If this video helped you, share it with a friend or family member who could use a reminder before opening the fridge tonight. And remember, when in doubt, toss it out. Stay wise, stay healthy, and until next time, take care.